Hey guys, Thunderstruck MTB here. Man, am I glad to be talking to you guys from the other side. As I film this, it is September 27, 2025. Almost 4 months ago to the day here in a couple days. I had spinal fusion. You guys can go back, check that out in my last video if you're just kind of catching up. There's been no other updates because it wasn't exactly easy, didn't go exactly as planned. So I thought I'd just do one last video here and let you know. Before I get to that, you're gonna hear some bad news. But the good news is the reason I'm out here on September 27th. You know what today was? It's Saturday, now kind of afternoon. You know what today was? Today was my first real ride back on this bike right here. So that's the good news. Let's get into some of the bad news real quick of what happened. So fusion was done on May the 30th down in La Jolla, California. Everything went well. I woke up and my leg pain was immediately all but gone, and my urinary pee issues, which was my big deal, was almost all but gone too as well. And so I did 2 nights down in La Jolla. I was up walking. The first night, it was a 5-hour surgery. They approached from the lateral portion of the first part of the surgery, the back part, the rest of the part, they went in from the back. And he struggled to get out my 25-year-old hardware. He normally said that should have been about a 7 to 10 minute thing, and he worked 97 minutes, is on the post report for the surgical report. 97 minutes getting my almost quarter-decade-old hardware out. Just didn't have the tools. He didn't have the tools, and we didn't know what was in there until he got in there. So anyway, surgery was a little over 5 hours, and everything was going well. 2 nights down in La Jolla, 2 nights at a hotel nearby. They released me. I came home here. Things were going pretty well. I was not in a tremendous amount of pain. Everything was going well. And then about at the 8-day mark, I started to, out of nowhere, develop a massive headache. And a headache unlike I ever knew before. What I thought in my life before was like a 1 out of 10. Though this headache is a 10, let me take some Tylenol and go lay down. Well, that headache is now a 4 or a 5. I now know what a 10 headache is. And in a nutshell, I had a cerebral spinal fluid leak somewhere, and that was resulting in posterior headaches. As long as I laid perfectly flat, I was fine. I had maybe just a little scale of 1 to 10, a half of a headache, just a little bit. As soon as I sat up, put my feet on the floor, I had 90 seconds before the pain would get so bad that I couldn't even say 25 words, couldn't even make sentences. The pain was so bad. And we lived that, like that. Surgeon was like, oh my gosh, get him back down here. Back down here is a 3-hour drive from my house to La Jolla. So my wife loaded me up in this Civic right here. We left our house about midnight, 12:30 a.m. to beat traffic because we have to go through Los Angeles, California to get down to the San Diego area. And I laid, in this back seat sideways like a freaking spider, flat with my feet all up on here and all the way down. And that was she got me down there. We left at 12:30. She got me down there right around 3:30 a.m. to beat all the traffic, which was great. And then a few days later, they had to find me a spot. I had to go back in for a 3-hour surgery to try and find and repair the tear in the dura that was causing the spinal fluid leak. And so we went in, another 3-hour surgery, 16 days after the 5-hour surgery, another two nights there in a hospital. Released to come home, and I don't know, a week later, headaches were back. Same thing, maybe not quite as bad, but the headaches were back. I decided I didn't know what else to do, so I just decided to lay in bed for the better part of 6 straight days. I only got up to go pee, and you know what? And that was it, man. I laid basically 23.5 hours a day for about 6 days, and that somehow, I don't know, I guess I healed myself or somehow was it, man. That was the turning point where the headaches got better. So that happened sometime in mid-July. June was a real bad month for me. I started feeling better in mid-July. I hopped on this bike a couple times. Doc said late July I could get on a trainer if I wanted. Well, my version of a trainer was to hop on this bad boy and go around my housing track on my pristine roads, and rode that. Sorry, Doc, but that was my version of a trainer. And so, you know, 1 mile at a time, 2 miles at a time, whatever else. So I did that. And then today's Saturday. Tuesday of this week, Doc gave me the all clear. We did an x-ray and he said my fusion looks great, and quote, I have no more restrictions for you. I am releasing all restrictions. So I go to PT, he said I could ride, and I rode today, rode Saturday morning. So it was awesome, it was incredible. No tears, which was great, because usually I'm a little bit of a sniveler. No tears were shed. I enjoyed every single minute of it. 13 miles, 1,500 feet of climbing, and it was great. I did have, I had my doubts leading up to this. I had about 81 miles on the road around here over the we'll call it 2 months, month and a half leading up to this. That was essential because I probably would have never made today's ride term fitness wise. But I was really surprised in fitness. I did pretty well today, and all things considered. A month ago, I thought there'd be an e-bike sitting right here. I really doubted my fitness and whether or not I'd ever be able to ride this bike again. But once I started turning a corner and the back pain went and I started feeling kind of normal, like normal thunderstruck, I thought, well, let me ride on this thing here before. Plus, the prices of e-bikes are downright freaking offensive. Downright freaking offensive. So I was having a real hard time battling myself. I am so glad I didn't listen to the devil on that shoulder saying, you can't do it, you can't do it. Once I went out there this morning and just gave myself a chance, you know, nothing proves that you can do it other than freaking doing it, right? I went out there and did it. Guys, I'm just so happy. So I'm gonna be on this for a while. Definitely won't be an e-bike sitting here. I'm still contemplating a full suspension. Don't know if that's the smarter play or not. I've got mixed reports. Surgeon doesn't really have an opinion either way. Daughter has an opinion. She doesn't think it's, you know, monumentally going to be the difference between me having to have another, you know, fusion here in another 20 years and not, if I ride a hardtail versus a full suspension. So I'm not sure. But anyway, that's about it with the updates. I didn't want to turn and do like 4 or 5 updates and turn this into a woe is me, because I was not in a good headspace. It was a pretty bleak, it was hard. It was hard, and for a lot different reasons than I thought. The pain from surgery was nothing like I experienced back in 2000 with that fusion. Nothing. It was so much better. It was crazy. The technology. It was so much better. Gosh, I only think I had 3 total pills, 3 total narcotic Percocets. Other than that, I just freaking white dogged it, raw dogged it, white knuckled it. I white somethinged it, and just did some Tylenol, and that was it. So that was great. Headaches blew. And here I am. So again, guys, gals, for those of you who are looking at maybe a new component on the bike, I don't know, what are those Praxis podium pedals doing on here? Well, we already have a new component. First ride, there's already a new component waiting for me. That'll be probably the next video, my thoughts on those, why I went with those versus my 10 and a Colts. There is a reason, and we'll kind of go into there. But guys, there's gonna be some components here and there. Could be a brand new bike, don't know. But just wanted to give you this update. I hope everyone is doing well. I had a couple of you email me, and again, thanks, and again, Colin, so sorry that I didn't get back to you right like I should have. Just don't check that email like I need to. So again, I hope you are all doing well. I hope you all are riding. Thank you for not unsubscribing. I thought for sure my subscriber count would go down. He's not coming back. This guy's done. And I'm glad you guys didn't. And again, don't want to bore you, turn this into a health channel or woe is me channel with you know, all my problems. But there you go. That puts a nice bow to the end of my fusion backstory. And god dang, I'm glad that is relatively over. Still dealing with some minor headaches here and there, but nothing that is debilitating. And that's the good news. I'm still able to live my life right now and going on from there. So again, look for some new videos coming up here. You know, I don't know, month, something like that. We'll see. We'll do a review on the podium, Praxis podium pedals and why I went with those. So anyway, guys, gals, again, I hope you have had a great summer. I hope all of you got to ride and had a great time. And again, I really mean this. thank you for watching and not giving up on me, guys. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon, I promise. Thanks.